This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, after being put on Monterey Bay Aquarium's Seafood Watch Red List, Maine lobstermen and women are speaking out about what they say is an injustice to them.
Our Matthew Jurancic has more.
If we were the problem, I could see it, but we're not the problem. We're not the problem.
This was the reaction from lobsterman Richard Larrabee Jr. talking about how he felt about being put on the Monterey Bay Aquarium's Red List. Like Larrabee Jr., many lobstermen and women along the coast feel the same way about this decision.
Through no fault of our own, we are being prosecuted, and I don't know how you would combat this persecution if you're not doing anything wrong.
I've never seen one. And someone behind the desk pushing a pencil can make a regulation for me saying, oh, there's right whales out here everywhere. Really? Have you seen one?
Even with a letter published by Maine congressional leaders pointing out the inaccuracy from the aquarium's research, Larrabee Jr. says the support so far has not been enough.
It's not a good situation right now. I'm hopeful. Finally our political leaders are coming to the front and trying to help us, but it might be too little too late.
While some lobstermen are upset about the late response, Eaton is glad the problem is getting the attention it deserves.
Better late than never. And I watched Senator King's I saw it on Facebook, his address to this concern, to our concern, and he did a fabulous job, and we are incredibly grateful to Senator King for standing up for us.
And for Eaton, it comes down to the facts.
Do your research. Find out where the problem lies. It's not with Maine fishermen. Address the problem where it exists. Maine lobstermen have done everything and more that has been asked of them.
Reporting from Stonington, Matthew Jurancic, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Meanwhile, the executive director of the Maine Lobstermen's Association spoke about the ongoing threats to the lobster industry during a conversation on The Maine Take on Tuesday. Patrice McCarron joined the streaming public affairs program hosted by Maine State Chamber President Dana Connors. During the discussion, McCarron spoke about the many Maine families and communities that rely on a healthy lobster industry. She says Maine's lobster industry continues to adapt to meet unrealistic federal risk reduction regulations, and she encouraged people to keep purchasing Maine lobster as a way to support the industry.
So our marine protection measures are above and beyond anything else anybody's done. So when consumers are getting a confusing message, it might give them pause about buying the product. And it's extremely frustrating because this is another symptom of our federal government not doing its job, not using the data, and then another group picking it up for its own purposes and confusing our customers.
McCarron says Maine's lobstermen and women have been resilient as they continue to navigate unprecedented regulatory challenges.
In other news tonight, U.S. Senators Susan Collins and Gary Peters from Michigan have introduced bipartisan legislation to help protect communities from PFAS. PFAS are man-made chemicals that are commonly used in industry and consumer products, which can lead to serious health problems. The bill would improve coordination between federal and local governments to address contamination.
Well, parent company Pixel Specialty Solutions, LLC, announced the future closure of their mill located in Jay. Approximately 230 Maine people will be affected by the closure. According to a release, the announcement comes after financial challenges created by a digester explosion in April of 2020 left the mill with catastrophic damage impacting the continued operability of the entire pulp mill. Governor Janet Mills issued the following statement in response to Pixel's announcement today that it will close the paper mill in Jay, saying in part, quote, "I am deeply disappointed, but more importantly, I'm deeply concerned for livelihoods and well-being of those who work at the mill. I was glad to hear that Pixel will offer all employees health care benefits and severance pay following the end of their employment in 2023. But I am also directing Labor Commissioner Laura Fortman to send a rapid response team to help support the mill workers and provide all available resources to them and their families. The mill will continue to operate and serve customers until its complete closure in the first quarter of 2023.
Deer Isle and Stonington officials are set to have a public meeting tonight about the Deer Isle Causeway. The meeting will show the public the results from its tabletop planning exercise that the Hancock County Emergency Management hosted last Tuesday with first responders, town officials, and the Maine Department of Transportation. The towns worked closely with the National Weather Service to simulate a storm in November to determine how they would respond to one. They would also experiment with other emergency scenarios related to the causeway, including having to access the island if the causeway was not passable. Stonington Economic and Development Director Linda Nelson says climate change is playing a big role in their decisions.
We are being impacted quite heavily by climate change, by sea level rise in particular, but also by increased storms and increased storm surge. So the causeway has always been vulnerable. So we're trying to make sure that we're prepared in the event of an emergency, in the event of some kind of break in that system.
Nelson says the towns have been asking for donations to modify the causeway and raise it by a few feet.
The Appalachian Mountain Club celebrates the addition of new protected forest land. Our AJ Douglas talked to stakeholders to learn more.
The Appalachian Mountain Club has acquired an additional 27,000 acres of forest lands known as the Pleasant River Headwaters Forest. The National Land Trust Organization, known as the Conservation Fund, provided $18.5 million to the AMC to make the acquisition possible.
It's a holistic approach to conservation to show that conservation land is an economic benefit to the people in the community.
Getting people back outdoors and protecting vital lands are key goals for this special conservation project.
We run an education program in which we work with every child in the Piscataquis County schools to get them outdoors and having experiences and learning about this amazing natural place they live in.
Vice President of the Conservation Fund explains why these forest lands are critical to local people and ecosystems.
It also provides opportunities for Atlantic salmon to be restored to the area by improving the road crossings and so forth, and the continuation of jobs in the woods.
Expanding both the opportunity for sustainable forestry, for recreational opportunity.
In Brownville, AJ Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
Well, it may be feeling a lot more like fall lately, but that doesn't mean the impact of brown-tailed moths has gone away. The Maine CDC and Maine Forest Service say hairs from brown-tailed moth caterpillars can get stirred up during fall yard work. The tiny hairs cause a skin reaction that's similar to poison ivy. They can also cause trouble breathing and other respiratory issues. The caterpillars shed and then grow the hairs from April to late June or early July. Those hairs remain toxic in the environment for up to 3 years. Officials say you can reduce your exposure to the hairs by doing yard work when the ground is wet to prevent the hairs from becoming airborne. They also suggest not hanging laundry outside, covering all exposed skin, and wearing a respirator or dust mask. The CDC and Maine Forest Service also suggest taking a cool shower and changing your clothes after any outdoor activities. You can get more information on brown-tailed moths by calling 211. Certainly something to think about as we head into that fall season with those leaves starting to turn and fall. But we're not there just yet, but we are starting to see some color.
We're definitely feeling the fall conditions, and we're certainly seeing some wet weather this week. And with a little bit more on that, let's take a first look at our forecast.
All right, thank you. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather is brought to you by GRF Real Estate Company. Okay, so fall officially arrives for us on Thursday, but here we go. The wind shifted out of the north from us today, and that brought in some cooler temperatures. 52 in Millinocket this afternoon, 57 here in Bangor. So this isn't normal. The average high is still upper 60s, but it's going to be a bit cooler on here for several days. The rain showers, or most of them, are now gone, pushed off to our north. See you later. Behind it, though, some cool temperatures, some breezy conditions, and some light areas of sprinkles and some drizzle tonight into tomorrow, as this whole thing kind of pulls out of here this evening and brings in a pretty nice day for us by tomorrow afternoon. Our forecast then tonight, though, is cloudy skies, some drizzle out there with low temperatures near 50. Your full forecast is coming up.
All righty. Another cool overnight.
Yeah, and like we said, the wet weather, it's still present and still more coming.
Absolutely.
All right, well, coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, a look at how the Unity Raceway dirt track is faring after reopening this year.
And 2 Maine cities have been selected to participate in a special revitalization project. We'll have details with those stories and much more after this.
I was just telling these guys about Jared Golden. He's a Marine who puts country ahead of politics. And then there's Bruce Poliquin. He's a multi-millionaire Wall Street banker who went to Washington, took all that money from the insurance industry, and voted to let them increase premiums. Worse, Poliquin said he wants to raise the retirement age. He's for them, not us. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Does your dream kitchen look like this? Or this? Or maybe you need a little more inspiration. Get it when you explore the complete in-store showroom displays at Hammond Lumber Company. When you find the look you like, the Hammond team will help you customize it, including accurate 3D renderings, so you can visualize your project before the work begins. Hammond offers statewide delivery and professional service after the sale. Your dream kitchen begins when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
In Maine, it's always buying season. And at Thornton Brothers in Lincoln, we carry new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams for your buying season. Here at Thornton Brothers, we'll help you find the right vehicle specifically for you to suit your lifestyle. As they say, the proof is in the performance. So come on over and test drive a real vehicle from a real dealership, or place your order with us and see why it really is buying season here in Maine. Thornton Brothers, Main Street, Lincoln.
Find meaningful work in behavioral health care, like Shelby, who works in multiple settings caring for children with a background of trauma.
I was motivated to join the behavioral health field because I had decided that I was going to advocate for children with similar backgrounds to my own. As a younger person, I find that the most rewarding part of my job as a behavioral health professional is the emotional gratification in seeing my clients succeed.
Learn more about compassionate careers at caringforme.org.
Here we go again. Paul LePage trying to drag Maine into the mud. Not surprising that the guy who can't work with anyone can't get the facts right either. I brought Democrats, Republicans, and independents together. And it's working. We fully funded our schools, expanded health care, sent relief checks to over 800,000 people, all without raising taxes. Because I believe we should be fighting problems, not each other.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everybody. Race car drivers are thrilled to be back on the track in Unity. The raceway reopened as a dirt track earlier this year. Our Jody Hersey has more.
We didn't try opening up to become rich and make all this money. I'm a family of 6, so we have 4 boys, so we know how expensive it can be just walking through a gate somewhere.
Holly and Joey Doyon reopened Unity Raceway earlier this year. This well-known racetrack holds a lot of special memories for racing fans and drivers alike.
This is obviously way different than the original surface. The old track that was here, you just can't replace it. The memories that it had and the great racing that it was great.
The Doyons wanted to embrace the track's nostalgia while also making it affordable for families. So the couple decided to replace the old track with a dirt track and charge $5 a person. Both changes seem to be a winning combination among fans.
We have so many dedicated fans. It's amazing to see every day. Sometimes the same, 10, 20 people are in line waiting to come in every single race. And
I was so happy to see that it was open. We brought our youngest down here for his birthday, his 12th birthday, and he's having a ball. He get to wave the flags for the start and end of the races.
Racers are just as happy to be back in the driver's seat and entertaining the crowds.
It's a hobby to start with when you start. It's something to do, fun on the weekends, but once you get into it and you meet the people, it's a lifestyle.
In Unity, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
And the next race planned at Unity Raceway is October 2nd.
It looks like a lot of fun there. And meanwhile, the Maine Development Foundation has selected 2 cities to participate in a special revitalization project. The Downtown Revitalization Roadmap Project is provided by the statewide Economic Development Organization to offer free consulting services to municipalities. Old Town and Hallowell are the 2 cities selected through a competitive application process to participate. Program Director Ann Ball says this is an exciting opportunity.
What does that next chapter look like as far as business mix, as far as, new infill construction and public spaces and events to kind of bring people to that downtown? So I think there's so much opportunity for what is going to happen.
Program consultant Ben Levinger is expected to arrive later this week and will prepare a proposal plan within the next 6 weeks. And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, Maine's newest first responder looks a little different. He's a 5-month-old chocolate lab.
And in sports, longtime Bruins captain Zdeno Chara hangs up the skates after a 25-year career, returning to Boston to do so. That story right after the break.
Jared Golden promised to watch out for us, even campaigned as a fighter against Biden's reckless spending that he knew would make inflation worse. But 3 days later, Jared Golden cast a deciding vote for Biden's newest wasteful spending bill that experts say will hike taxes by billions on those making under $200,000. Maine families are already struggling too much on Jared Golden's watch. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
People with plaque psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis are rethinking the choices they make, like the splash they create, the way they exaggerate, or the surprises they initiate. Otezla, it's a choice you can make. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats differently. For psoriasis, you can achieve clearer skin with Otezla. For psoriatic arthritis, Otezla is proven to reduce joint swelling, tenderness, and pain. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. Otezla can cause serious allergic reactions. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
The better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
Just as cooler weather comes along, so does another great offer from Renewal by Andersen. All this month, $300 off each of our energy-efficient windows. $800 off each door. Nothing down. No payments or interest for 12 months for qualified buyers. Schedule a free in-home consultation at rbagreatermaine.com.
The better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
Mainers work hard, but Joe Biden's inflation is making life miserable. Heating oil costs are crushing Maine families. I'm Bruce Poliquin, and for too many, this means choosing between gas, groceries, or freezing. Biden and all Democrats created this mess, and they're making it worse. Congress needs more Maine common sense, not more spending on those who won't work or more taxes on those who do. I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message because Maine needs a congressman who will stand up to Biden and help Maine families.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Body Graphics Tattoo and Piercing Studio. Coming soon to our new location at 27 Bangor Mall Boulevard. Call 478-7856.
Welcome back in. Thank you for staying with us. We're going to start with some big news out of the hockey world from the tallest player in NHL history. The longtime Bruins captain Zdeno Chara announcing his retirement on Tuesday morning. The 45-year-old returned to Boston, where he spent 14 seasons, beginning in 2006, all as their captain. He signed a one-day contract and officially retired a Bruin. With Boston, Chara led the Bruins to their 6th Stanley Cup in history in 2011, and he brought them to the Stanley Cup Finals twice after that, in 2013 and 2019. He finished his career with 25 seasons of pro hockey, over 1,600 games, and 200 playoff games. President Cam Neely says Chara is the last person to wear 33 in the black and gold, so that's good news. And he got a little emotional when reminiscing about that Stanley Cup season at his retirement ceremony.
We did it together. We did it as a group.
the celebrations, and it's just something we will never forget. I mean, you ask any of us, that's the best memories we have. And going to what you said about the city, like, I think it's pretty special that this city, the fan base we have, and the success the teams have around here. I mean, that's just, it's pretty special.
Certainly weird these last couple of years watching the Bruins and not seeing a giant number 33 on the ice with them. One of the players I watched throughout my entire childhood. Let's move on now to some football. On Monday, Jordan Stevens spoke about what he takes from his team's performance at Boston College. Talking to the whole team on Tuesday, they say the game gives them a ton of confidence about how they're progressing as they head into their bye week.
I think we showed that we're moving in the right direction.
After 6 scoreless quarters to start the year, Maine football has poured in 32 points since the fourth quarter of their home opener.
The progress we've had from week 1 to now week 3 going into the bye week, it's definitely been progression you can see on the tape from offensive side of the ball and defensive.
A chunk of those points came down in Chestnut Hill, with the Black Bears staying in the game against Boston College all night long, in what could have been just their second win in program history over a Power 5 team.
I still think that we left some stuff out there. I still think that game we were very capable of winning that game, and but that's in the past. I can't dwell on it, but I think that this should instill a lot of confidence in the guys and all of us.
Maine started hot, putting up 10 points in the first quarter against the Eagles, and they say that was important after having 0 first-half points through their first 2 games.
That's something that's been a point of emphasis of this football team, is doing a better job at the beginning of the game. So being able to do that in a setting like that at Boston College is huge and something to build on.
In the fourth, quarterback Joe Fagnano connected with Montego Moss for their second touchdown in as many weeks.
He's a ball player at the end of the day. We threw him a fade last week, threw him a slant this week. Both of them were touchdowns. You never know what he's going to do.
Montego has tremendous hands. He's a natural ball catcher, so you put the ball anywhere around him, he's going to come down with it.
I try and be a possession receiver, so I think that's my game specifically is the possession and the red zone. So I try to make myself a red zone target and available always in the red zone.
And after the showing last week and the second half at Colgate, everyone says this team is definitely moving in the right direction. And why is that?
The way we played for each other, I feel, I felt it on the field, and we could see it on the film.
If you watch the film, you see our offensive line picking up the running back every play, picking up our quarterback if he's ever down. Those are the things I want. There's a certain way we want to play. Take that X's and O's scheme out of it. There's a certain way we want to carry ourselves as Maine football players on the field.
All right, that is all the time we have for sports. Here's Jeff Weller with your full 5-day forecast. Jeff?
All right, thank you. Your full weather is brought to you by Thornton Brothers in Lincoln. Buy a new or used Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram vehicle from us today. You make the drive, we'll make the deal. And all right, so yeah, put an extra log on the fire. Temperatures hanging out in the 50s today, lows in the upper 40s, low 50s tonight. We're going to work on it, though, as somewhat warmer temperatures are on the way, but this is not normal. 52 in Millinocket, 57 here in Bangor. But again, some 60s are in the 5-day forecast. Tomorrow included, so basically back up near 60, even a couple low to mid 60s across our region tomorrow. So in slow improvement with some sunshine getting back in the forecast tomorrow as well. Right now, though, the wind is out of the north, almost directly out of the north. That's a cold front that came through yesterday. Basically, it's going to hold temperatures down tonight into tomorrow as well before it gets a little better on here. Lots of cloud cover out there currently, and that's going to be slow to dissipate across our region as the big low is kind of pulling out of here. See you later. But behind it, there are some clearer skies, but they're well over here. That's going to be in our backyards by about probably this time tomorrow. It'll probably take much of tomorrow to get rid of the cloud cover across the area. So overall, a mostly cloudy day for most of the area tomorrow. But the sprinkles will be persistent tonight into tomorrow morning, and then we're done with that for a bit. All right, let's walk you through it now. So for this evening, lots of cloud cover out there, some drizzle too. Here's tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock or so, looking at a couple areas of drizzle still. And then it begins to kind of pull out of here. See you later. Behind that, though, a very nice night tomorrow night. Cool temperatures. And then Look what happens. Our next system gets in here on Thursday. This will bring us some showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. A couple of those could produce some locally heavy rainfall. Going forward, though, so rainfall-wise for tonight, just some drizzle out there. For tomorrow, we're good tomorrow. Then Thursday, we could see another quarter to a half inch of rainfall pretty much across the entire region. All right, let's check on Fiona here. Here's Hurricane Fiona. This will miss us, but it's going to make a track kind of up in the North Atlantic here. That's going to really begin to kick up our surf beginning tomorrow morning. Likely small craft advisories issued with that, as we could see wave heights approaching 8 to 10 feet. Our forecast then tonight, though, is scattered rain showers and some drizzle out there ending. Low temperatures down near 50 with that north breeze around 5. For tomorrow, all right, so partly cloudy skies, so morning clouds, some afternoon sun. Highs back in the low to mid 60s tomorrow. Okay, we'll take it with that north breeze around 5 to 10. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows the story. So 66 tomorrow, a couple of thunder showers in here on Thursday, not an all-day rain. But then look what happens. Our cold front comes through Thursday evening. Friday back in the low to mid 50s and a nice recovery into the weekend.
All righty, so you're going to need maybe a layering piece or two for the weekend.
Yeah.
But love seeing that sunny weekend.
Yeah, you might have to open up that winter clothes bin that you've been tucking away for a
Just
while now.
an extra long sleeve, maybe.
Yeah,
You know,
who knows?
Who
I've
knows?
already gone through my winter clothes in preparation. Got the sweaters ready. But, yeah.
I'm just excited to break out all my favorite hoodies.
Mhm.
All right, well, there's still more to come after the break. Stay with us.
Offensive and divisive. That's Paul LePage's legacy. But it's not just what he said as governor. It's what he did. LePage slashed funding for cancer screenings for women. He refused to invest in clean energy, kicked over 1,000 seniors off their prescription drug program, and even opposed funding to Meals on Wheels. So, if that's what Paul LePage did last time he was governor, we can't send him back. The top funder of A Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
No matter who you are, being yourself can be tough when you have severe asthma. Triggers can pop up out of nowhere, causing inflammation that can lead to asthma attacks. But no matter what type of severe asthma you have, Tespire can help. Tespire is an add-on treatment for people 12 and over that proactively reduces inflammation, which means you could have fewer attacks, breathe better, and relieve your asthma symptoms. So you can be you, whoever you are. Tespire is not a rescue medication. Don't take Tespire if you're allergic to it. Allergic reactions like rash or an eye allergy can happen. Don't stop your asthma treatments unless your doctor tells you to. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection or your asthma worsens. Sore throat, joint, and back pain may occur. Avoid live vaccines. By helping control your asthma, Tespire can help you be you. No matter who you are, ask your asthma specialist about Tespire today.
Here, you can find monuments to veterans from many generations, except ours. Jared stepped up. Jared Golden joined the Marines after 9/11. He knew veterans needed to be recognized for their service. That's why in Congress, Jared fought so hard with veterans from both parties to build the Global War on Terrorism Memorial. This will be a place for all of us who served in Iraq and Afghanistan to heal, and for our families too.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message because the memory of our fallen brothers and sisters must live on for generations to come.
Scudic and Bloom, a full-service, custom-designed florist, Main Street in Winter Harbor.
We can deliver one-of-a-kind, full-color flower arrangements
by custom floral designer me, Pam.
Delivering to Ellsworth and surrounding areas for any occasion.
Please visit scudicandbloom.com or call 844-SCUDIC.
Tonight, Hurricane Fiona, the aftermath of the catastrophic flooding and rescue efforts in Puerto Rico. How the storm will affect the East Coast as we track its next move. More Americans turn to World News Tonight with David Muir, the most watched program on all of television.
Well, finally tonight, Maine's newest first responder has 4 legs. Baxter is a 5-month-old chocolate lab and is Maine's first official comfort dog. He's got a big job ahead of him. Baxter will be working at the state's 3 emergency communication centers.
It's always comforting to have an animal that gives unconditional love. So when anybody in here is going through a stressful time, something like that is really important. And it helps us deal with the important calls and some of the emergency calls that we take on a daily basis.
Handler Brody Hinckley, who is the director of the Maine Bureau of Emergency Communications, says there will also be other opportunities for Baxter to use his unique skills.
A lot of times the wardens are out there on a boat looking for a drowned subject, and unfortunately the family members are on the shore waiting for that, right? If they call up, I could bring Baxter down there, hang out with the family while they're doing that, and just comfort the family.
Hinckley says it's taken about 3 years to make the Comfort Dog program happen. Baxter got a chance to meet and interact with some of his future co-workers for the first time today, and it looks like he was very well received.
Yeah.
And how could you not?
Very good, very happy looking.
Happy little guy.
Young one there. But yeah, they make a really good point about, work can be stressful, especially in that work environment. So having a comfort animal there to help the workers, but also the people that they serve, is multifaceted. And I think it's a great addition to their team.
Yeah, definitely thinking outside the box and just doing whatever they can, to facilitate that important work for sure.
Yeah, really cool to see.
All righty, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us from everyone here at ABC 7 News. Take care and have a great rest of your night.
Good night, everyone.